Arranged in time and space is a black wooden box containing 49 printed cards, 3 lengths of wood, a pair of white gloves and a memory stick. Arranged in time and space is a response to several items in the archive that were not only inspiring in their own right, but sparked with connections and echoes that I wanted to capture. I'll take you through the work in the order I made it, so you can get a sense of my unfolding process. However, the images you'll see will arrive in a different order. This project is steeped in time. It loops and weaves and bends through it. I am more intrigued by time's relationship to the things we make than ever before. Time is a material as much as paper or ink or wood or cloth. It was initially frustrating for me not to be able to read the characters on the books and the scroll I was drawn to, but ultimately this difficulty was a gift. I focused instead on the fact that these texts presented a variety of voices, tones, volumes, weights, accents and styles. Unusually for me, my initial response was to write. I found a range of voices with which to speak back to the voices in the archive. I used different forms: poetry, prose and experimental writing. I explored language and layout, returning repeatedly to the justification of text and the direction of reading. I'm accustomed to reading from left to right, and though this feels like a natural action, it is of course entirely culturally mediated. I see that the way we read mirrors our need for propulsion, our dedication to the idea of forward motion, of progress. But questioning the prosaic fact of the direction of text led me to consider how ideas around progress crumble very quickly when we imagine stepping into other ways of being. What surprised me during the writing process was a sense that I was engaging in an extended act of translation that had more control over me than I had over it. I came to feel both energised and spooked by this. Once a translation process begins, where should it end? It became clear that my translation work could not be satisfactorily confined to words on a page. It had to migrate to other forms too. My direct response to the beautiful Esther scroll, for example, was to starve it of material substance completely. I siphoned it off to the digital realm, where I could make plain how, when and where women get to speak, or whether our voices are heard in their own right at all. Although recent events have forced a postponement of the public event around my commission, later on in the year I will record volunteers reading a text specially made for a range of voices. The recording will be included on the memory stick in the box, along with my response to the Esther scroll. There are many words in the box waiting for you to read, arrange and translate them in your own time and space. But there are also objects for you to see and hold. One of the great pleasures of the archive is getting to touch the objects. Online catalogues are very useful, but nothing can beat handling an object in real life. Scale and texture are so hard to grasp from a photograph, even where measurements and close-ups are provided. I've long wondered what is happening to our sense of touch. The effect of the digital world is not only to flatten everything into the present, but to render it cold and glassy and lifeless. The archive of objects, on the other hand, offers direct contact with the past. Pick up an object, hold it. You are holding it where others held it. Your fingerprints are touching. Your fingertips are touching. It's beautiful. I've left my own fingerprints on the white gloves in the box. When the viewer puts them on, we are touching. The objects documented in the box are all translated from selected written pieces. I began with a text that starts, "It is what it is." I converted each word into a unit of length. I cut lengths of wood accordingly and dyed them with black ink. I bound the pieces together with plaster. I had no finished form in mind. My guiding principle was that the object should aim for justification in the same way the writing had done. Physical materials don't behave like words. and the work became the shape it wanted to be. The translation of 2 more written works into physical forms continued in a similar vein, though I changed my strategy somewhat and invented my own numbering system when determining measurements. Unexpectedly, the sculptures became more finished the less they were joined together. The second work I made points in certain directions, but is only half formed, and the third is mostly in pieces. The viewer may imagine their own arrangements. And of course, the translation did not stop there. Rather than simply capturing the objects in a conventional documentary style, the photographic process provided an opportunity to create further methods of communication through the introduction of composition, collage, colour, and on occasion, the marriage of image with text. As you work your way through the box, you'll notice a particular colour scheme. Cyan, magenta, yellow and black are the 4 ink plates used in the contemporary printing process, and you'll see that even these have undergone their own particular translations. I hope that when people interact with this artwork, they'll understand that I've tried to provide a framework for igniting the imagination. I've attempted to visualise the way that connections are forged and ideas continue on through time, how they fit to the shape of the present and point the way to future conversations and translations. This is why there's no correct order, arrangement, or sequence for reading arranged in time and space. Your journey through it is entirely shaped by you.